Hello everyone, and welcome back to World of Warplanes. This time we'll be taking a look at the Tier 4 light fighter from the Soviet Union, the I-17, or at least one of them. No, this one is the only one, as far as I'm aware, at least non-premium. But yes, the I-17. Let's quick take a look at the history according to Wargaming, and then also check out the stats according to Wargaming, and then we'll jump into some really good gameplay. So, let's see. This I-17 was developed in 1934 to 1937, but never entered service due to lack of advantage over the mass-produced I-16. Only prototypes were built. So it sounds kind of like, yeah, we tried this one, but the I-16 was superior, so this one just kind of got thrown off to the wayside. So, yeah, the history of it. Super exciting, right? Anyway, let's check what Wargaming has to say. Machine gun and autocannon armament effective in close combat. Alright, so let's check what it has. The I-17 has four 7.62 millimeter machine guns and one 20 mil mounted in the nose of the plane. So, it does have a fairly decent firepower. The 20 does overheat kind of quickly, but you have four of these 7.62s, and they're quite adequate for what you need. Personally, I kind of like the firepower on this. I think it's pretty adequate. The only issue, as Wargaming says, it has to be close range, and by close range, I mean very close range. The 20 can go up to almost 2,000 feet, whereas the machine guns really start struggling beyond 1,400 feet. Personally, I think if you really want to get the most out of this plane, you're going to want to be shooting at planes 1,000 feet or closer. Anything more than that, and it does become quite challenging to hit. And you know, these little tiny machine guns are not exactly accurate, so the closer you can get, the more shots will actually hit, and so I think that'll be beneficial as well. On to the next point. Low survivability, vulnerable engine, often catches fire. Alright, well the first 2 points are pretty standard for fighters. That's kind of typical what you'd expect. I don't know really how it compares to others, but I never really have too much of an issue with the survivability. It seems just fine to me. Vulnerable engine, well, I always carry pneumatic restarter, so I don't really know. And then, but this last part, often catches fire. That's kind of the staple of Soviet planes, right? They're quite infamous for catching fire. So, you know, there's that going for it. Next point, good airspeed and boost. It's alright. It's not terrible airspeed. It's pretty average, honestly. Nothing that blows me out of the water. It's definitely not comparable to German speed, which I'm used to. This plane very much is a defensive plane. If you sit at the center objective and eat at the buffet, as Zem likes to call it, then yeah, this thing can do that very well. It's got very high maneuverability in horizontal turns. Yes, this plane is very maneuverable. A rating of 87 is very, very significant. Rate of roll is 120 degrees per second, so it takes 3 seconds to do 360. That's not too bad. And then average time to turn 360 degrees is about 8 seconds. That's pretty good, very good. I mean, the I-16L, if you guys know, that thing's very maneuverable as well. Same with the Japanese Zeros. But this plane is probably more on the top end of maneuverability. It's very significant, and that's pretty nice about it. So because it has such good maneuverability and it doesn't have terrible airspeed, it does make for a pretty versatile plane in my opinion. And then the last point, it's very effective in low altitude maneuvering combat. That is very true. Unfortunately, this plane will never be going after bombers. If you are, you're wasting your time. There's better things to do. Just ignore the bombers. You're too slow and too low of an altitude performance to really chase the bomber formations as well. So unfortunately, you're just going to have to let the bomber formations do the damage that they're going to do. You just don't have the power to take them on. You are a light fighter, and you don't quite have the altitude performance to deal with them at that altitude in the airspeed. So, and because you have to get so close for your guns to be effective, the tail gunners on all those bombers will just chew you apart. So don't worry about bomber formations, don't worry about bombers. High flying heavies, you can't really deal with them either. This is very much specialized at shooting down other fighters and other multi-role fighters. So yeah, that's the other thing I wanted to mention, altitude, but it looks like they mentioned it for you, or for me. As for the upgrade path, I think the 20 is very nice, so go ahead and mount that 20 on there ASAP, and then I'd go for the airframe and then the engine. This engine is only applicable to the I-17, but if you're going to go down to the MiG-3, you need to have that 20 mil. Or the engine, sorry. My bad. So, let's see here. The I-17 comes off of the I-16E, and then it leads into two of the Soviet light fighter lines. So you're very likely to play this plane. It's one of those early ones that, no matter which line you go down. I mean, the I-17 can even go down into this line. The only one it can't go down into is this line right here, but that's okay. You can go down 3 of the lines if you go on the I-17. I don't know why you skip the I-16L, because that's a good plane as well. But the I-17 I enjoyed. It was very fun. I like things that have adequate firepower, and this plane has adequate firepower. And it's got decent speed with very exceptional maneuverability, and it does make for a very nice plane. You catch fire easily apparently, your engine gets knocked out easily. You don't have a lot of health, and your altitude performance is garbage. So, as long as you play to the strengths and shoot down multi-rolls and light fighters, and sometimes heavy fighters as well, you just have to make sure you get close to them, which can be a little bit challenging. But as long as you're close to those, you can deal with those pretty easily too. So let's jump over to the service department real quick. I chose not to do universal on that gun, just because I felt like fired too slow, and I thought these guns do most of the work anyway. So, but I mean, do whatever you want. I'm just cheaping out a little bit there. I don't carry fire extinguishers, despite the fact that this thing catches fire easily. I just don't. That's just my personal preference. Choose whatever you want. There's a lot of different consumable choices there. You saw what I chose. As for upgrades, let's see. I would outfit it, first off, improved reflector sight to give increased accuracy, and then also maneuverability increases. So lightweight airframe 2 and controlled surface adjustment 2, because those are really nice to increase your maneuverability. Yeah, your maneuverability is your strong point. I'd say that's what you're designed to do. So you really do need to make sure you improve your accuracy, because you have those lots of little guns and your maneuverability. It's my preferences. As for paint job, there is no gift paint scheme, unfortunately. But whatever. There is this kind of cool, unique one, I guess. Not really sure. It looks like it's got a paw print on it, but I'm not really sure what that's for. But I mean, it does look kind of cool, but it's not free, so keep that in mind. And that also goes for not being able to put your beta stickers on there, which you know how much I hate that. That really drives me crazy. As for crew, I need to put accelerate crew training on. Forgot to do that earlier. My pilot is actually in a different plane right now, so let's go find that plane real quick and we can look it over. I think I moved him to maybe the MiG. Maybe the MiG, LA7. I mean, it doesn't really matter, does it? So I'll just pop it up and show you what I would put. So on that plane, on the I-17, I would do marksman 1 and 2 to increase your accuracy because it's very important. And then after that, well, maybe these two to increase your maneuverability even more. Aerobatics expert and aerodynamics expert to increase the effectiveness of your equipment. So I think those two would be very good as well. And that about sums up the I-17. It's a very fun plane in my opinion. It's not my favorite. Absolutely not my favorite. My favorite at Tier 4 currently is the Hurricane Mark 1. But I know it's a very controversial plane. Some people really don't like it. This plane is very adequate. I love the maneuverability on it. But to me, it felt a little bit slow. And the poor altitude performance and the poor power of the engine didn't really excite me that much. So yes, that is the I-17. Let's jump over to some gameplay. Alright, and welcome back to the replay. This time, we are fully Tier 4, so I'm not going to be farming on Tier 3s, which is nice. In some ways, it's nice to see that. And we are on Pacific Island, or something like that. I don't know what exactly it's called. It's this water map. You guys know it. Archipelago, that's what it is. Alright. So we're going to go to the center first because I know that the command centers are very important, right? The command centers are kind of what create win or lose situations. But this plane, to me, is not the fastest. So I'm going to go to the center and use my incredible maneuverability to just farm and hold the center as long as I possibly can. And just leave the rest of the sectors to our allies, our bots, and hope that they do something good. Maybe that's not the play that you prefer, but to me that's where this plane excels, and I'm going to play it to its strengths rather than trying to jump from sector to sector, because I personally don't think that's what this plane is designed to do. So we're going to camp here. There's a whole lot of targets. My 20 is overheated, so I wanted to let it cool down a little bit. This is a Phantom, which is a biplane, and we already took the center, so that's good. Which means I'm not going to be getting shot at by AA guns anymore, and we can just finish them off. I want to take down the Phantom because it does have exceptional maneuverability, and I want to get rid of planes that have good maneuverability. I want to be the only one with good maneuverability in here. I-17 is down low. I didn't want to spin with the I-17. If he got on my tail, oh well. I thought I had the speed advantage, and it seems like I have because I kind of lost him. So the I-17 is almost dead. I had to readjust my mouse because I ran out of space, but we'd flip around and kill him anyway. I-17 is going head on, maybe not the smartest idea because that doesn't have a lot of rockets, but that's okay. Now we're going to try to flip around and take him out, but he dies before we can do that. We have two planes inbound. There's one that's very high and one that's not very high. So you always choose the one that's not very high because you don't have very good altitude performance. Blenheim is kind of far away, so I don't expect to get too many shots. Yeah, we don't quite kill him, but we did do some damage and we got some points for it. So I will take it. So now we have 109B over there, so see if we can go attack him, but he's running away. Hopefully he'll turn around and come in at us, which he does. He's not even looking at us, so that'll be pretty easy to take it down. Oh yeah, look at that. Fires galore, and he dies. So as you can see, the guns are very nice, but the 20 does overheat rather quickly. So the 20, in my opinion, you don't want to focus on trying to get your 20 to hit. You don't even have to really worry about making it not overheat. If it overheats, oh well. What you really want to be concerned about is just getting your 7.62s to fire. That's your main force of your firepower. I-17 is not looking at me, so he will be an easy kill. Don't want to get shot by the rear gunner, so I want to knock him out quickly. He's kind of turning, and then he starts going away like that. So I don't think I'm going to kill him, but I'm going to see if I can maybe set a fire. But we do kill him. Awesome. That was nice. I-16L, he'll be an easy target as well. He's kind of close. And as you can see, I'm not really making sure my 20 cools down. I'm just holding down the trigger because my 7.62s are not overheated. So I-17, he's right there. Kind of flipping with him. He's going to be a little bit tricky. But we take him out. He's gone. Mission success. So now we have a couple more. At this point, it's kind of like we're just camping their spawn. But, you know, it gives me nice big scores. And so I'm okay with that. Unfortunately, the BF-109 rams me a little bit, which kind of hurts, but that is okay because we are not dead. That's the one major issue about low tiers is when you get killed, it takes forever to get back into the battle, so you do want to avoid dying at all costs. This guy's going head on. I thought he was going to ram me. Thankfully, he did not, and he completely ignored me as well, so thank you, you're an easy kill, sir. We have the command center, so it's just one of those situations where by staying near their spawn, I've basically annoyed them to the point where they're trying to shoot me down and ignoring all the other sectors, which gives our bots as much time as they need to take a sector on their own, because we all know how long they take to take sectors on their own. But I'm keeping the whole team occupied. I'm going head on with that guy. Knew it was not going to work, but we almost took him out. He'll probably die very easily, and if not, we will be back and take him out with vengeance. So yeah, now we're just respawning. Waiting, waiting, waiting. Alright, we're back. I'm going to go back into the center because it's a defense plane, and it's the shortest route, so I like short routes. If I did not get shot down in this replay, it'd probably be really nice, but unfortunately we went head on with the 109B, which, you know, was never going to work out, but it's okay because he's almost dead, and it's not going to cost us the game. It's not squall line or anything. So it's just a kind of a matter of me being bored and looking around at my plane. So you got some nice up close and personal images of the I-17. You're welcome. BF-110B, he's gonna die, and now I'll probably go back to staring at my plane again because I get bored. No, I'm just gonna start flipping around over and over. I get so bored. I like being in the action, and so traveling from sector to sector just is so boring. So I see this guy, and I'm like, do I really want to go after him? So I said yes, but I want to make sure I'm on his tail with not too much speed, so I'm holding down the brakes right here and just laying into him. My 20 is overheated, but not my 7.62s, so I just keep laying down the trigger, and he dies very quickly because this plane has awesome firepower. In my opinion, it works very well. Got a couple planes on my side, and that guy was not really charging me too much, so I want to hit the planes that are right in front of my face and the most threat, the ones that are looking at me. So those two were the most threatening, but the Phantom is ignoring me for the third time. Sir, you are not going to beat me. Blenheim, almost kill him. Oh, we do kill him. Awesome, awesome. The battle's almost over, so we kind of cleaned their clocks, and if the enemy had done anything halfway decent this whole battle, this could probably have been a 20k game, but unfortunately that is not the case. I didn't play the I-17 for too long because it doesn't take that long to get from tier 4 to tier 5, but this was the best battle I had in the I-17, and so it's the one you get to see. Winged Legend, Guardian, Hunt for Falcon, maybe, and Hat Trick. So, no crazy awards, nothing that's gonna set new world records or anything, but I'll take it. It's not terrible. So let's go back to the hangar, check out the post-game results, and talk about my final thoughts on this plane. So, I-17. How did we do that battle? Well, we made 6.2 thousand experience. That was for a ×3 with standard account, and 93,000 credits. Not too bad. 15 kills, 2,500 damage to aerial targets. That is very substantial. Yep, hat trick. Hunt for Hawk. Okay, not Falcon. Hunt for Hawk. Yeah, we kind of whitewashed them. There was nothing they could do about it. If I had decided not to go head on with that 109B, probably could have gotten a very nice score. But do I recommend this plane? Well, it's definitely not a bad plane, but it's not one that I am going to be going to for fun. It didn't really stick out to me as being like, oh, this plane is so amazing. Not like the Hurricane 1. I think it's going to be hard for any plane at Tier 4 to dethrone my enjoyment for the Hurricane 1. But it's not a bad plane, and I certainly do not suggest skipping past it. It is a fun plane. And with that being said, please leave comments down below. I'd really like to read those comments, and I will catch you next time.